Excellent. Great to meet you.
Hi,
Honestly,
William. How are you?
doing great. I had a train spotting poster on my wall as a kid, so
You
it means
did.
a lot to talk to you.
It's cool. That's nice. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, I think your portrayal of Obi-Wan has only gotten better with age, and so I'm sure that this is ultimately going to be the best yet. But I think, but I think that the Obi-Wan that you were playing in the prequel trilogy had this sort of joie de vivre that I think defined him. This lightness of spirit, and I think a lot of the iconic lines that you brought, whether it's "Hello there," "Another happy landing," had that sort of joy in it. But obviously, by the end, he was a broken man. So, how different did you have to get into this character? And was that spirit still within him when you went searching?
Yeah. I think it all comes from Alec Guinness. I just always I always think of him when I think of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I think that all the things you described sort of are in his performance. That's why they ended up in mine. And also in the writing, I guess. George liked that and liked that relationship between him and Anakin, and there was fun to be had there. So, yeah, I think is we frozen or are you just being really still? Oh no, you were being really still.
I was really listening.
You were frozen there for a minute. That was weird. Okay. So you're right. At the beginning of this series, it's 10 years after the end of episode 3. I mean, they're saying that. I think it's probably a little less, but anyway, regardless of that, it's that sort of length of time after episode 3, and so he's living a very solitary life, Obi-Wan, and he's lost all of the people he knew and loved, and they either were killed with Order 66 or they're in hiding and unable to communicate with each other. Vader is in charge, is trying to hunt down the very last Jedis to destroy them. He wants to destroy the Jedi Order. And so Obi-Wan's living a very normal life. He's trying to not draw attention to himself. And mainly because his last responsibility is with Luke Skywalker, and he's overlooking Luke Skywalker, trying to be there to protect him, I guess, with maybe the vague idea that he could be a Jedi himself one day, or just that he feels responsible for, he brought him to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, and he feels like he should be there, but he also doesn't want to draw attention to him so that's where we find him.
How does this fulfill you differently as an actor at this point in your career? Coming back to it, do you find that as you as a person have changed, that it changes your appreciation of playing him?
Yeah, I think it was very different playing him because the technology is so different now. We didn't have blue screen or green screen anymore, and that was the main challenge of the original films. I mean, not so much in 1, but I think by the time we got to do episode 2 and 3, George was sort of pioneering digital cameras. We shot the second episode on the very earliest digital cameras. They had huge, like, umbilical cords coming out of them into this tent at the side of the stage that literally hummed. You could made so much noise, and they were just on 2 techno cranes. And it was literally just, they'd move the camera, zoom in and out, and then we were ready to do the next setup. And there was no set, so we weren't lighting anything. It was just a very different experience than we were used to when we shot on film, but also when we shot with sets or in locations. And it was difficult. I spent a lot of time on my own, acting often to a tennis ball on a stick, in that episode 2, when I'm walking around with the aliens. I forget what they're called, with the long necks. It was just a lot of time. And this time we had this LCD screen that surrounded the stage. We were in the environments, at least virtually in the environments that we were supposed to be. It was different, and I'm older. I'm closer in age. I mean, not really very close in age to Alec Guinness, but all getting there. And so I'm. It is a different. It was a different side of him, I suppose, where the story starts. It was good, and it was very. Also, I still have the challenge of, I have to become Alec Guinness. So that's my real, when I'm playing this part, that's really my thought, is like, does it feel like him? Does it, I know it's me and it's also him, but I like to I like it to sound a bit like him or feel like him somehow. So, and some of that lightness comes from Alec Guinness for sure. That was in his performance, you know.
Absolutely.
Thanks, William.
Thank you.